Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how to create a wall system, like a bind wall. As you see, I don't have any gold right now, and this wall costs 50 gold, and I don't have gold, so I will try to buy it, and boom, I get the error, and I can't move through it. Like, I can do it that way, but you know, this is only the example. I don't build some fancy map or whatever, so that's why it's, yeah, but I can't go through it. Oh, I can jump through it. Whoa, I didn't know this mechanic. Okay, let's pick up the gold from item spawner and let's buy it, and boom, I get the success and I can wall through it. But what is worth mentioning is a locally, so the players that play is in game. So for example, if I play with my friend or whatever, he still see this wall until he buy it. So this wall became invisible only for me, not for other players, only for me. So that's really worth mentioning. It's on local, so yeah, it's only it's not for team play, but for example, if you're doing some simulator or whatever, when you need to buy walls, like the local walls, so players can progress individually, it's great. It's great mechanic. So let's buy another wall, and boom, I can buy it, and as you see, I have 800 gold, and I will buy it again. I get the error and I don't get charged for gold because, as you see, I already bought this wall. So okay, that's what we'll be covering in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and find it helpful. So let's open UEFN and let's make it real. Okay, so I'm in UEFN right now, and we can create our verse file. So let's go to our verse explorer and hit create new verse file, verse device, and let's name it wall system. Yeah, that name sounds great. Let's open it. Okay, let's delete some useless comments. And also, if you have errors like right there, don't worry, it's about this like UEFN problem, so don't worry about those errors. Okay, so let's create a class, a wall data class, which will have the concrete tag. So this tag allows us to add editable in this class. Next will be huts data, which also will be the class with concrete tag. Oh, okay. And also the agent data. And this one we don't need concrete class in agent data, because it's like data. We don't use it in editable. Okay, so we can start with agent data, and we need to add the variable owned walls. Okay, this will be the array of strings. So string. Okay, so in our hut wall data, we will have the wall name, and in owned walls we will just added this wall names. So, and we will check if player have it or not. Okay, let's go to hut data, and let's add editable hut success. Hut message device is equals to hut message device editable hut error, and we can just copy this hut message device. So this basically huts is hut success, so this success message, and this is the error message when I buy it. So as you see, it was the successful and error. You can also add already have it or something like that. Okay, in wall data we need to add the editable with wall name, which will be the string, and this quotes here. Okay, next is the barrier device, which will be the barrier device is equals to barrier device. Okay, so this is our doors. And next is the button device, which will be the button device is equals to button device. Okay, and the last device is conditional button, which will be the conditional button device is equals to conditional button device. Okay, so basically conditional button is to check, for example, for gold. As you see, yeah, for checking the gold. If player have enough resources, you can add whatever you want instead of gold, some wood or whatever. And button device is the whole interaction happens in button device, but conditional is just for visual and for just checking the condition. Okay, so we need the maybe main device, which will be the optional from our wall system. Okay, and we here need function on begin, void equals return, and also the check if have, which require agent, and its type logic, so we can return false for now. So in function check if have, we will check if player have this wall that he want to buy. So for example, if you want to buy first wall and he already bought first wall, this check if have will return as a true. So we'll know that if this function return as a true, we just showing player the message already have it, or error. It's like up to you if you want to add the already have it had. Okay, next is on button clicked, which also require the agent, but this is the void function, so it not return anything. Okay, so let's maybe configure our firewall system first. So we need to add editable walls data, which will be the array of our wall data, so the data of wall that we just created. And next is the HUD data, so we just adding the HUD, our HUD's data to the Verse device. Okay, and next is agent data map, so this is the map where the key is the agent and the value is agent data. So we are accessing the agent data to each agent. Okay, so let's go back to our wall data, and in onBegin function we can button device add our subscribe to interacted with event, subscribe to our on button clicked. Okay, and in our function check if have, we need to we can leave this return false. We need to access our main device, so if main device colon equals maybe main device and the question mark at the end, because it's an optional, so we need to access optional. So it can fail if we leave it into the false. This if statement will fail if we set it up in our onBegin right there, that we will do later. It will return as a true, and it will give us access to our main device. Okay, and next is agent data, which is main device dot agent data map for the agent that interacted with our button, because we will fire this function right in this. Yeah, we will fire this check in have function in the on button click function. Okay, and here we need to loop through the owned wall. So this is the agent data dot owned wall. So we need to loop through all the walls that player have. Or let me try something. If agent data owned walls, that's find, and we want to find a wall name. Yeah, we can do it this way, it's shorter and it don't require a for loop, so it will not much, really not much, but it will improve your game performance. If you have like 100 players on your map, maybe it will have some impact, but if you have 4 players, it doesn't change really anything. Okay, and if this is true, so if player have this wall already above, we want to return a true. Okay, and in any other way we want to return false. So if maybe main device is not set, or agent data have just not exist, or he don't have this wall, we return false. Okay, and in on button click we also want to access the same thing as here, so we can just copy this and paste it right this here and fire up our function have it. So have it colon equals retrieve have it for our agent that interacted with button, and if have it is equals to false and conditional button has all items in the square brackets agent. Okay, so if player don't have this wall, so as you see here, player don't have this wall. Yeah, so players don't have this wall, and so these two conditions need to be true. So if player don't have the wall and has all items to above the wall. So in conditional button you can set it up, for example, 3 things to buy, like gold, wood, and for example stone. And if player have all these 3 items in his inventory in the quantity that we set it up in the conditional button, he will just, you know, pass this if statement and he can buy the wall. Okay, so main device that has data, and we want to show our had data, and we want to show our had success, so show for our agent. Okay, and we want to activate our conditional button, so it will charge the player. Like if you set, for example, 50 gold, it will charge him 50 gold. Okay, and barrier device that add to ignore list, and we need to add our agent that interacted with button. Okay, and at the end we want to set agent data that owned walls plus equals array with our wall name. Okay, so here we basically just storing this wall in the agent data. So in this function it will return a true, so player already have this wall, so basically we're just saving it. Okay, and else, so if player already have the wall or he don't have all items, we want to main device that had data that had error and show for our agent. Okay, so that's it. We can go to our wall system and create the function player joined, and this will require a player type void and not return will fill up. So if I just discovered yesterday that we can use if statement with the dot. So for example, if not agent data map for player, as you see, we can use then and the dot, and that we can, for example, print not have it. It's maybe a useful way if you want to use the if statement like that. I will stick to this one. So if not agent data map, I just showing you there is the way to use if statement with dots. Maybe some of you like that. I think in Python there's something like that, like if statements. No, I don't really remember, sorry, but yeah, I know in some language you have if statement like that, like really short and concise one. Okay, if not agent data map for our player, so if our agent still don't have his own agent data, we want to set agent data map for our player, and we want to set him a new agent data. Okay, so in our own begin we need to look through all players, so for all players, and we want to get play space, get players, and player from all players. Okay, so basically get play space and get players is an array of all players on your map, even the players that are dead. So keep this in mind when for example using it in some other way. It also giving you the array with the dead players. So yeah, keep this in mind. If you want checking only for players that are alive, you need to do get the Fortnite character and check if the Fortnite character is alive. Okay, and here we just getting the player from our all players. So yeah, and we need to fire the player joined event for our player. Okay, and also we need to add the get play space player added event subscribe to our player joined. So why are we using player joined twice? It's a good question. We use it because this function is firing only to player that join in progress. So for example, you have some simulator and player joined after 20 minutes from game start. So this function from player added event will happen to player that join in progress, but this function will happen to all the players that, for example, are in the game between rounds, so between round 1 and 2, or to players that was before the game starts, so for example in this waiting room. Okay, and next we need to loop through our walls data. So for wall data colon walls data, and set wall data that maybe main device is equals to option self. Okay, so when we're using the optionals, as you see, we have the question mark here, we need to use option and self because we require a wall system, and as you see, we are currently in the wall system, so the self is basically a wall system. Okay, and wall data that on begin. So we firing up this on begin function. You can use make it that way. So for example, wall data put on device interactive event, blah blah blah. But if you have more in the on begin, it will mess up and you will have really long on begin functions. So this is only for organization, like in the code, and it's simple to read. So yeah, that's like preference thing. Okay, so let's build our verse code and set up all the devices. So let's hop to our UEFN. Let's open our content browser and drop our verse device. Okay, so first things I will set up our hot message devices. So hot message device, and this one will be hot success. Okay, and we'll just copy it right away. Okay, so I will add these emojis and successfully bouthed. Okay, and we want to message recipe to be on 3 different players. So for duration I will go with 2.5 seconds. Play sound I will go with the success stinger success 03Q. Okay, placement to the custom and center, layer 0, and intro zoom and outro zoom I will go with fade and zoom, and size to light 32 and the text color to green. Okay, and we can copy this, rename it to be the error, and text color change to red, and change the sound to error and text to error. Just error. Okay, so let's connect our hot devices, hot success and hot error. Okay, what we need in our wall data, so names, so this will be the wall first and the other one will be wall 2. Don't name the walls the same way because as you see, we're storing the data with strings. You probably can do it with indexes, it will be better, and you cannot mess this up that much like in strings, because you, for example, have 1000 walls and probably use the same before. You can, it happens to, you know, sometimes it happens to people, just, you know, the mistakes. So maybe it will be better if you use it with indexes, but I think also you can keep it more organized if you have the names and like you know where something is. For example, if you have wall to castle, you can name it wall to castle, and you know you will know that this is the data to wall to castle. Okay, so we need barrier device, button device, and conditional button. Okay, so let's put the barrier device and let's change the size of it, but width to 0.1 and maybe height to 3 and depth to 2. Okay, so let's do a bigger one. Let's copy that and paste it here. Okay, let's maybe move this wall here. And let's find the button and let's put 2 buttons. Okay, and let's move the button to this hologram of the conditional button, as you see right here. Okay, and interact time on the button device to 0.5, so player actually knows that he interacted with something and he actually interacted with it. Interaction types I will go with by wall. Okay, and visible during game to false, and interaction radius I will go with 1 meter. Okay, in our conditional button I will add the item to be the gold. The item required I will go with 50. So player need to have 50 golds to, you know, buy this wall, and also we need to disable the interaction, so allow interaction set to false in our conditional button. Okay, so also I will go with visible during game and change it to hologram only, so it will it will show us only this hologram as you see. Okay, and I will move it into the better position, so it will just look better. Yeah, I think it's great. Okay, let's copy that, let's duplicate it, okay, and paste it here, and here I'll just change the item requires for conditional button to 200 gold. Okay, and let's put some item spawner so we can actually test it up. Okay, for 0 and 0 gold for 0 seconds, and add the gold to item list and pick up quantity to 1000. Okay, let's connect everything to our wall 0, wall 1 basically. So all these devices right there. Okay, so all is connected. Let's launch the session and test it out. Okay, I saw that I forgot to put one thing, and let's open our barrier device, let's click both of them, and we need to set to true invisible to inner player, so set it up to true, and let's start the game. Okay, let's wait, and let's pick up our gold, and as you see, let's go to our first wall and buy this wall, and boom, the wall disappeared, we can go through it. Okay, let's go to another wall. As you see, we can't go through it. Let's buy this wall, and boom, we can. We successfully bought, it charged us a gold, and here we get the error if you want to buy it again. So that was it in today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed, I hope you guys learned something new and see new possibilities with Verse. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I think yes, I hope yes, you can leave a like and subscribe. And also if you want a whole code from this video and from any other video on my channel, you can join to my Discord. It's completely free, you don't need to invite some friends, don't pay something, join anything. Just go into the description and you'll find the link to free Discord. Okay, so that was it in today's video, and see you guys in the next one.